Hey man, this guitar belongs to my oldest daughter. I got it for her when I believe she turned 11. Christmas time, I asked her, I said, what do you want for Christmas? She's like, I want a pink guitar. I saw this pink guitar at Walmart. That's the one I want. And I went to Walmart, and my other daughter, my youngest daughter, was like, this is the guitar she wanted. I looked at it. I was like, first act. Buy a first act guitar. And then I thought about it. I was like, well, my daughter wants it. So Christmas Day came. It was in a little box and everything. She was like, oh, that's the one. You know, she opened it up. This actually has some playwear on. I was looking at it. I just got out of the attic. Hasn't been played in a while. But it's funny because I didn't tune or anything. It's still pretty much in tune, believe it or not. This is my daughter's first act. That's made completely out of plastic. Plastic. Easily, quickly made out of plastic. Fretboard, everything plastic. I think the frets are metal. It might be plastic too. They're just very, very well done. This is a place where I'm not going to knock over. So I'm going to continue to talk to you for a couple of minutes. We're not going to do an episode about that guitar. That's what we call a conversation piece. I'm welcoming you to Plastic September. What the fuck is this? Plastic September is here, folks. All the instruments during this month are made in the 50s, 60s, completely out of plastic. So no ovations, nothing like that. No first acts. Plastic guitars from the 50s and 60s when plastic became, you know what I mean, the next plastic, right? So let's talk about the first one is the Emenee Toy Corporation or something like that. I forget what exactly. I think it was founded in Brooklyn right after the Second World War. They were making like little plastic novelty chord organs, you know what I mean? You know, the chord organs you plug in. And then they started making like little trumpets, little this, that, and the other thing. And so one thing led to another, and they started making guitars, right? So Emenee was really like, you know what I mean, that sort of conduit for a thin line between toy and real deal. This guitar here, although it's almost exactly like my daughter's guitar in construction is more like a real instrument than a toy, right? It's got like real tuning pegs like that one. You know what I mean? It's really like an updated, like post-dated version of that guitar I got from my daughter 5 or 6 years ago. You know what I mean? I want to show it to you. It's a Tiger. I don't think we really need to do too much repairs to it. Clean it up a little bit. Polish it up. It doesn't look like there's anything really wrong with it. I was at the swap meet. The guy wanted $45 for it. Walked away. My daughter's like, I know you really want that guitar. There's something going in a little vein in your head. You're going to regret it. You talk about it all day. Go offer him $30. Let's get the fuck out of here. It's hot as hell. I said, $30 is mine. Got out of there because it was hot as hell. Anyway, this is week 1 of the Plastic September. 2 parts for the Emenee Corporation. This particular, you know, is called Real Instrument. Next week is going to be Emenee Toy Instrument. They're both guitars. They're both completely out of plastic. Flip you around. We're going to look at this together. It's got real metal strings on it, looks like. Oh no, these look like they're nylon strings. I don't know what's going on, but we're going to look at it together. It's a wholesome episode. I hope you enjoy it. So take your time right now. Remember when you were a child. Think about that first plastic guitar you got. You never got a plastic guitar? Lucky you. 1, 2, 3. So it begins, man. Very, very similar. Very, very similar. You know what I mean? In construction, play, and sound. It's kind of uncanny, you know what I mean? There's actually a commercial on YouTube. You can look it up for Tiger, Emenee toys, something like that from like 1963, some shit like that. See all these teenagers like jamming out. All these little Tiger instruments. There's an electric one. There's this exact one. So I'm saying this is like early 60s probably. Right? See that? The one thing I wanted to tell you is I really, really hope that we can get this thing playing, because I paid $30 for it. And that's cool. See, look at that. These are actually, you can see they're Waverly bells. You see that? It's not bad, right? Probably some of the earliest Waverly bells with Phillips screws in it, if you think about it. Right? It's all Phillips head in this. It's got some kind of gum here. Hey, chewing gum for the teenagers. I'll have this kind of thing in the back. I think there's like a plug on some of them. This is missing the plug. That's where they inject the plastic. That's the belly button of the guitar. So, we just got to get this guy into the laboratory, take a good look at it, clean it up a little bit, polish it up, shine it up, go over it, try to remove this very carefully. Because we didn't pay $45 for it, Tom. We didn't do that, Thomas. Right? Never convicted on no dope. Right? So I'll see you in the laboratory. Right, Tiger? That's right. Certainly. And once we're there, we'll diagnose it properly. See? It has like a regular set of nylon strings on it. I think I'll put a new set of strings on it. It's interesting. It's very interesting. Very, very interesting. I'll see you in the laboratory. And now it's time to welcome you heartily to the laboratory. So this full dog doesn't have too much, I should say cat, right? Because it is a tiger. Doesn't have too much, sweat to put into it, but a couple little things we got to sweat about. This right here is what we call a scratch. We don't like it, but it's cosmetic. Doesn't do nothing to the guitar, right? This is what we call a crack. We don't like the cracks, man. You know why? Because they go all the way through the material. They threaten to damage the infrastructure of our beautiful tiger instrument here. You know what I mean? One false move and this thing will split right down the middle and we'll be crying our blues like Tony, man. Oh, it's not too great. Show them you're a tiger. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of super glue. And we're going to try to even this out a little tiny bit. Because I see that this side is a little proud of this side. Woo! So I'm going to push this down just a little bit. Try to maybe push that up somehow. I don't know. Not too bad. I mean, it's just slight. You know what I mean? Maybe like a tenth of a millimeter. But I can feel it. I don't like it. So after that's done, we're going to put a tiny bit of glue in there. Wipe it off quickly so we don't make a mess on the top. We're going to stabilize it. And then we're going to try to wipe it up real quick. Right? Hey, I'm going to wipe it up and put it right back in there. You know what I mean? So I'll see you once we've glued this guy in. Once we stabilized our cracks, we might want to loosen this guy a little bit. Pull him back. So see you there. Got it all clamped and glued, house. What do you want me to do now? So we got a heavy set of dies holding over that side. Big ass clamp on this side, just like on either side, just holding it open, And the quick grips are like sort of holding it open even further. And you take a look at the crack, it actually extends beyond the fretboard quite a while there. But although, I mean, if you feel it, it doesn't really seem to be cracked there. You know what I mean? It just seems to be like, like it looks like it's about to crack. And that's the origin of the river there, Noriega. We're gonna sail it together. So, what we did was we got a brand new fresh pack from the Dollar Tree super glue. We just opened up. When you open these guys up, man, it's super low viscosity, man. This stuff is real, like penetrative. It's like WD-47, man. It gets in anything, man. And we just poured it on there. We didn't even wick it in there. Poured it on there, let it set for 1 second. Took paper towel, wiped it right off, and did that like 5-6 times. And we were very careful. I mean, it still looks a little bit musty, but I mean, super glue, you don't want to leave it on plastic too long or it'll start fucking it up. But we melted it back shut. We welded it up. We've had this set for about 15 minutes now. So we're going to take these clamps off. And then I'll see you at that moment. We'll explain the next set of circumstances to you. Right? Deal is fresh out of the package, man. Fresh out of the package from the $1.27 treat, man. You know what I mean? It'll thicken up after an hour once you open that thing the first time, man. So let's get it. Let's get these unclamped, and I'll show you in a minute. All right, so it's no longer under tension. It's unclamped. It still has not gone back to, you know what I mean, being like all jacked off. So we know that our weld was successful, so that makes me very happy camper, you know, very happy. So what am I going to do next? We got a little bit of one of these things called a razor blade, right? And we're going to just run it down there and try to get as much of that glue off as we can around the crack, you know what I mean, carefully, you know what I'm saying? We got it taped off on the edge so we don't want to damage the top of the instrument. You know, even if it's plastic, we still want to be our carefulest. Make sure we got a real sharp razor in there. You know what I'm saying? If we're going to do that, and then we're going to take some steel wool, and we're just, you know what I mean, quadruple zero steel wool, and just clean it up. We're going to put a little bit of oil on the steel wool, too, just to make sure it doesn't really scratch out that much. It just gets the white glove treatment there, Noriega, so you can lead your little coop. See you in a moment. All right, so that's about as far as the steel wool can take us. It's pretty good, actually. I'm shining a light on it, but I mean, if you're over here and you're kind of looking at it, it doesn't really look that bad. It's a little matte, you know what I'm saying? But it's not like shining out like a sore thumb or anything. And I mean, it feels structurally pretty dope, man. So, I mean, I could just go on with the show right here, but I want to get a little bit crazier than that. Let's make it real super sheeting shiny. Got some rubbing compound, polishing compound. Let's apply the rubbing compound first, maybe like 4 or 5 times to that area. And then we'll do the polishing compound, maybe like 5, 6 times to that area, maybe 7 times. Let's try to get it like looking like there was never any action there. You might see like a little divot, you know what I mean, at the end, but you know what I mean, the crack will just be like a cosmetic memory, right? I'll see you in a moment. And there we go, man. You know what I'm saying? Right. You see that? Now Sheeny Shanny. Good job, old Guitkit. Now, let's work on trying to remove this ugly old sticker. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully it won't be a pain in the arse. I'll see you when that's dirt. Look at that. Came off without a fight. Laid down its arms and started talking about the Geneva Conventions, man. Didn't want any kind of issues. So, that being done, man, what are we going to do now? I briefly sort of pondered the idea of taking one of these paint markers, carefully going over these ridges here, you know what I mean, and making them look all nice and new for the people. Thought about it, you know what I mean? I seriously contemplated it. And I think, that seems like to be very, very stressful. It's easy to sort of slip up, you know what I mean, and fill in the middle here, and there's no way to get that paint out of the middle, you know what I mean? Just be like a little reservoir in there, and I'll just be like an angry old kid, like, fuck it up, man, I look like, I mean, now I'm going to paint over the white to make it look like it wasn't painted, like it was purple, you know what I mean, and just drive myself mad, so, that's what I got to say about that. That being said, it's, you know what I mean, been through a lot of stress lately. We just want to keep the stress on the instrument down to a minimal. You know what I'm saying? It looks so beautiful. It's a great little thing. So it just needs a little bit of furniture polish. I got this old Dollar Tree yellow on yellow. Let's give it a little bit of a sheen. You know, I don't want to, you know what I mean, use too many solvents and polishes. I don't want to remove what precious hair I got. You know what I mean? It's got a little bit of paint left. So let's leave it there. Let's do the right thing. Let's shine it up with the furniture polish. Done with that, I'll come see you. I come see you in the store, man. Oh, look at that. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. I said it to you. Nice, right? So I want to pop the shine even further. And I got a little trick for you. I got like 3 or 4 of these from Payless Writers. They were going out of business. They had this great, like, pleather shining thing, man. It's got like a weird, like, little synthetic grease in it. It just shines any kind of like fake leather, man. It makes fake leather look $1,000,000. Fake leather's plastic, so it just shines up plastics too. It just gives us this great sort of greasy glow for a couple months, you know what I mean? And I'm never going to use this, so it might be permanent. So let's grease that up with this, man. It's just like a little sponge, man. You'll see what I mern. Because I mern it. 1 second. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was talking about. Look at that. That's like out of the box Christmas morning, 1964. There I was, listening to my new Beatles records and trying to play along on the guitar. The nylon strings didn't seem the same as the high action strings I had on the guitar Grandpa had stashed away in the closet. I tried to figure out the chords that John and Paul came up with so cleverly, but was never able to totally get the middle eighth. Hey, man, and thank God I fucking had the foresight. Knowledge has never been, nothing like that around, man. I have no idea what that is, man. It's a special formula. I see other kind of sponges for shoes and shit, but the Payless one was something different. On plastic and shit, it was unsurpassed, man. So, that being said, pretty much done, man. Pretty much done. We got a string here I found in the pile. It was the yellowest one I could possibly find that was long enough. These are really yellow. You know what I mean? Then I got a brand new D string, you know what I'm saying? A brand new. I got a whole bunch of Ds. I got a 10-pack off AliExpress a couple years ago. I love AliExpress. I love my friends at Alice. I've dealt with them many times directly. They're wonderful, wonderful strings. You know what I mean? I love them. So, let's get it strung up. You know what I'm saying? Put on that string, and I'm going to show you beauty in what we call the glamour shots. You show 'em you're a tiger. 1, show 'em you're 2, 3. Come on, Tony, reach for 3. And there it is, man. Every bit of what I expected it to be. And I'm not going to comment further on that until you hear it. You gotta hear it to know it. But structurally, like I said in the beginning of this video, it's like an updated version of this old first act that I got my oldest daughter many years ago. Many times are wasting. Only, I guarantee that this first act sounds a lot better than this is going to sound. Because this has got nylon strings on it. That's got nice steel strings on it. I don't think I really, with this whole little system here, would trust any kind of steel strings on this guy. I think that'd be like the death of Tony the Tiger. You know what I mean? But it's a cool little piece of collector's, nostalgia. Not many of them out there, really. Just dwindling like the tiger. Where have all the tigers gone? You know what I mean? Not many of them. So, it's a student model, right? Just like that. Student models, man. And what better day on this premiere of Plastic September than pretty much the Wednesday where most of 95% of North America goes back to school, right? The Wednesday after Labor Day. So, have a good school year, everybody out there. You know what I mean? Peace be with you. Treat your teachers with peace and love. You know what I'm saying? Even the bad ones, man. Because they're not, you know what I mean? Teachers are like tigers. There are not many good ones out there. There it is, folks. The Emenee Tiger. Mid-60s. Interesting. It's interesting. It's got great action. It's totally in business. There's no problems with it. You know what I'm saying? There it is. So, it sounds a lot better when you're doing like bar chords, Like that kind of thing, man. That's what it's like best at. But it's a cool little guitar, man. So, we gotta address the elephant in the room, man. Over the weekend, Jimmy Buffett died, man. Jimmy Buffett was like the dream, man. He parlayed 3 like sort of marginal hits into like $1 billion career. You know what I'm saying? Or like a career of like a true baller. I remember first becoming acquainted with Jimmy Buffett's music when I was like very young. You know, I've told you many times that in the late 70s, I sat in my room and I used to listen to 66 WNBC on the radio all the time. And Margaritaville was like a staple. You know what I mean? I used to wait for that. Was one of the songs, another one of the songs. Play it again. Play it again. It's one of those things where, like, you know what I mean? I remember, like, in my young mind, that I was from, like, New Jersey, and we called it soda. And I was, like, busted his flip-flop. I knew what a flip-flop was, you know what I'm saying? But I thought he stepped on a Pop-Tart, you know? How do you fuck up your flip-flop and step on a Pop-Tart? That must have been like a, you know what I mean, like a fiber brand, you know what I'm saying? Pop-Tart or something like that, man. Frozen Pop-Tart. But Jimmy Buffett was such a baller. And when he died, Paul McCartney like posted like a 6-page fucking eulogy on Twitter, you know what I'm saying? To my dear friend Jimmy Buffett, I remember the times when McCartney was saying about this time they went on vacation together. And McCartney was like, oh, I didn't bring me guitar. And I bet you McCartney does this all the time. So people are like, here you go, Paul. Oh, no, you can keep it. You know, McCartney's got more guitars than me. You know what I'm saying? Serious. McCartney's not stupid, man. You see studios, you got like fucking racks and racks of guitars lying in it. It's like a warehouse. I ain't lying to you, man. It's Paul McCartney. Why would I have to lie about it? So anyway, he was talking about how he was on vacation with Jimmy Buffett. He's holding on any guitar, and Jimmy Buffett's like, oh, and he had his own favorite guitar, that is private luthier. Because, you know, as billionaires, this is what they do when they go on vacation together, you know what I mean? He's like, I'll have my manservant, you know what I mean, string it left-handed, right? And, like, he's the manservant in the room, like, yes, sir, Mr. Buffett. And just restring the guitar for Paul left-handed. Comes out like, here you go, Mr. McCartney. And McCartney's like, oh, yes, you know what I mean? I like this song I wrote called, you know, Freedom. What if we play it together? You know what I mean? And, like, you know, Jimmy Buffett, God, I really like, oh, Freedom, I love that song. And the same chords as all my other songs, right? 3 of them. And then Jimmy Buffett went inside. This is what McCartney was saying. And he's like, hey, man. He calls his private luthier. And he's like, I want you to make that. Can you remember that nice guitar you made for me? Abalone? I want you to make exact duplicate left-handed for Paul McCartney. And you have to do it in the next 5 days because that's the end of my vacation. I want to present it to him privately when he leaves. And supposedly at the end of vacation, Jimmy Buffett's like, here, it's a left-handed version of that. Now give me my shit back, man. Paul McCartney touch my guitar? You know what I'm saying? There's a double bone fuck. McCartney's in his little limo. Look, oh, yes, left-handed. You know what I'm saying? It's a dream match. And considering that McCartney wrote like a 4-page eulogy for Jimmy Buffett, and when John Lennon died, and reporters said, hey, he's like, you know what McCartney said? It's a drag, man. And he like walked off. So it must have meant a lot to Paul McCartney. Now, I have a baller story about Jimmy Buffett, too. It's not like Paul McCartney's little story, you know what I'm saying? His little vacation and his free guitar, you know what I'm saying? It's all right. However, it's equally as entertaining, and Jimmy Buffett is in it. The real Jimmy Buffett. So, when I was in college, I had a dear friend of mine, my roommate Tony. He used to have like his best friend from high school named Jay. And Jay was like crazy, but like you met Jay, and even if you were like, you know what I mean, a despicable character or like a non-likable person, nobody liked you, you automatically felt like Jay was your best friend within like 2 or 3 minutes of hanging with him. Like you known him for years. He didn't get along with people. He got along with people so well. He was like a wonderful guy. He's recently passed, I heard from my friend Tony. Rest in peace, Jay. Another great thing about Jay is his girlfriend was one of the most beautiful creatures on the planet. I've never seen a girl more beautiful than this year. Up to that point, I was like, ooh. She's like a little supermodel, you know what I mean? It was gorgeous, you know what I'm saying? We used to hang out. They used to come up to our, like, we had a couple different houses we rented around the Jersey Shore during college, and it was great, you know what I'm saying? So after college, like 1999, Tony's like, yeah, he's like, hey, you want to go to Orlando, Florida? My buddy Jay's living there now. He's working in Orlando studios like a member of the security team. Jay was a great bullshit artist. Wherever he went, he'd get like a great job because he's just such a great bullshit artist, you know. And so he became like, you know what I mean, like a security guy, a bouncer, you know what I mean, for people coming in and out, like celebrities coming in and out of the Universal Studios in Orlando. And he lived in a beautiful condo in a gated community. It was incredible. It was incredible. And there was a McDonald's right there. at fillet of fish for 99 cents. Right near his thing, man. All day and night, and they're open 24 hours a day. And get like a whole sack of fillet of fish for like $10. And I throw it myself in. And that whole vacation, we were there like a week and a half. Like, not like a drunken blur right now, but it was a great, great time. Because this particular visit happened to coincide with the private opening for Margaritaville in Orlando, in Universal Studios. And that Margaritaville is owned by Jimmy Buffett. Jimmy Buffett decided to come, and he had a radio, like internet radio show at the time, I believe. It was a long time ago, but I sort of recall this was a thing. And he was going to record a secret, like, pop-up concert there for his little radio show, you know what I'm saying? But since it was like, Jimmy Buffett and everything, it was pretty much just open to people that, like, Universal Studios employees and their friends and family and things like that. And like invite only kind of thing, you know what I'm saying? And he was going to record this whole show, and broadcast it on the internet, on a little internet channel, a radio Margaritaville, I think it was called. And so Jimmy Buffett comes in and he toasts everybody. He's like, and I checked out the new Margaritaville. I was like one of the first people in there. It was like early 1999, like March or something like that. And it was decorated like you would consider, like, you know what I mean? It would be Jimmy Buffett's Parrot Head Fair, you know what I mean? All kinds of like surfboards and bullshit on the wall, you know what I'm saying? Like a Applebee's kind of like vibe, The Applebee's in Hawaii vibe, And then one thing that's weird is you come out of the bathroom, there's this huge, big picture on the wall, big picture of Billy Joel, like in his glam, like Glass Houses period, you know what I mean? Like in this like multicolored suit. And I was like, that's fucking cool, man. Who would expect, man? It was awesome, man. It was a great time. Jimmy Buffett came in and he did his little concert, and he said after his concert, he said, I'll play a couple more songs to you, you know what I mean? After the radio went off, you know what I mean? He said, what do you guys want to hear? We were all drunk, you know what I mean? And my friend Anthony was there. We were with this beautiful girl and everything, because the boyfriend was like working, you know what I mean? So we were like standing with the girl watching Jimmy Buffett in his little private concert and stuff at Universal Studios. It was just incredible. And he already played Margaritaville, of course, you know what I mean? But he had like 3 songs everybody knew, nobody knew any of the songs that Jimmy Buffett wrote. Sorry. You know what I'm saying? And he played all of them already on this little show. He actually had a CD that came out that he recorded and released. And one of the tracks, I believe, was even recorded that night. I'll post a link below if I can find it on the internet. I believe it was Come Monday. It was actually recorded at that secret gig. And when you listen to it on the album, it sounds like it was recorded in Madison Square Garden. There's only like 60, 70 people there. It wasn't like, Madison Square Garden at all. You know what I mean? But anyway, it was an awesome time, man. And so, Jimmy Buffett said, so what should I play? And what do you guys want to play? You don't know any other songs I wrote? And everyone's just looking around and stuff. Yeah. Anyone want to hear this song? Nobody knew what songs he's talking about. How about floating down the river on a raft or whatever his songs were? Nobody knew any of them, you know what I mean? And my friend Tony, he's like, play Margaritaville again, man. He's like, this girl right here, she just got here. She didn't hear it before. She's the most beautiful girl here. And Jimmy Buffett, looked at her. He's like, oh, hell yeah. And he just put up there, and he's like, well, my flip-flop stepped on a Pop-Tart, busted my heel, had to cruise on back home. There's booze in the blender, sitting around there. The frozen concoction that helps me hang on. Wasted away again in Margaritaville, searching for my lost shaking song. Some people claim that there's a woman to blame, and I know that it could be my fault. Parrotheads, man, rejoice, she's in a better place. I remember telling that story to Mad Dog Lopez when I was getting to know him. He was like envious of me, you know what I mean? And he's telling these stories about Bruce in the early days and stuff. You know what I mean? We were recording for the Derelicts, for getting to know each other, you know what I mean? He actually showed me how to play poker. He's a huge parrot head, Mad Dog Lopez. My brother, man, in a better place. Peace be with you. Welcome September. Welcome Plastic Summer. We have a part 2. Emenee coming up next week. This is like, you know what I mean, the real thing. It seems to be like the toy thing.